And we are live. Boom. Hello, everybody. It is good to see you tonight, and hopefully, you are really going to enjoy the show. I got my notes right here, and Miss Fiona's got her notes as well. So, as you can see, we have got my co-host, my sister from another mister. Miss Fiona is with us. And let me just ask this question just to kind of get things started. So, tonight we are talking about something you've probably been hearing a lot about lately in the news, and it's the government shutdown. Now, that's something that we have to think about. And what I want you to think about is that this isn't just politics, this is real life for families, especially those living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm.
So, we want to help you understand what it means for you, for your pantry, for your budget, and for your peace of mind. Yona, what do you have to say about all this? So just so far, because we got a lot to go over.
Oh, I know. I'm going to try to keep this short because we really do have a lot to share tonight. Hello to everyone. So glad to be here. And Miss Denise has been quite busy. We've both been busy trying to make sure that we were able to bring good information to you. But this is real. And when we talk about life be lifing, oh my goodness.
This is it.
We have spent, I think, a lot of time trying to help prepare you in the present for just the normal everyday winter and whatever else that may be coming. Who knew? And so now here we are. So this is where the rubber meets the road. We've got to get serious about what we're doing, and certainly serious about our pantries and serious about our budgets.
Yes, yes. So we're going to walk you through tonight as much as we can. Keep it in mind, we are homemakers that do our research to bring this information to you. We are not political experts, and we don't do politics over here. We might talk about how the politics affect you, but we don't give our opinion necessarily about if we like it or not. We just talk about what it is what it is, because our goal is to help you. So let's move right along. So one of the things that I think about as we go through this is, how is this going to affect families? How is this going to affect our home? What does the shutdown mean? And what does it mean for federal workers that may be furloughed? Agencies might be closed, or some delays in services. So what exactly does that mean? Well, that's Social Security. Didn't want to get that one. But sometimes as some governments, as workers are furloughed, that means they won't be getting a paycheck.
Right.
Government workers will not be getting a paycheck per se. And I say government workers per se. Some of them will be furloughed, and some of them will be expected to come to work without pay,
yes,
and get back pay later. I don't know how that affects taxes. I know it does something to it, but that's a different story. But some of them will be required to do that.
Yes, that's true. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So we may have some more listeners along the way because, you figure, I know a couple of people right now who I know are going to be affected by this furlough. And fortunately, I say fortunately, and this doesn't put all of us in the same box because I'm not even in that box. They are pretty solid because they knew there was a chance of it coming. And I think because these situations have threatened a couple of times, they try to stay ahead of it as much as they can. But you figure for those who are new into some of those positions, oh my goodness, this is like pulling the rug out.
Yes.
But I am afraid that if situations don't get better, there are some things that are happening with the progress of the two coming together that is real, and it's something that needs to be dealt with.
So if you look here from Maryland, this is a state response from Maryland. And one of the things that we're doing tonight is try to put up some resources so for you guys to see, so you don't think we're just making all this up. But Maryland's governor has announced contingency plans to try to protect residents,
Mhm.
especially federal workers during the shutdown. So they're aiming to keep SNAP benefits, Medicaid, and things like that. That is their plan, that they're aiming to do that.
And I think that's because that's the state
Right.
that's
That's
trying to hold on to that as long as they can. Because I know our state, the main SNAP benefits have not been affected like to individual families. But what has been affected are the food pantries and those kind of places. They have been affected already, even before the shutdown.
well, yeah, and I think that's going to continue. So here's the thing too. So places like Boys and Girls Club, um,
Mhm.
they've been affected as a result of changes in like the food benefits. So
Mhm.
we'll just have to see what happens going forward with some of this. So yeah, okay. Well, one of the big questions that when we looked at the poll that I put out to see what people were most concerned about. And one of the things that people were most concerned about was whether or not they're going to get their Social Security check.
Mhm.
And so one of the things that we found was that according to Verify This, Social
Mhm.
Security and SSI, those checks will still be paid out even
Mhm.
during the government shutdown. And
Right.
the reason why that happens is because the funding is separate from congressional annual budget. So
Right.
that's a good thing.
Right. And for Social Security, we paid into.
Hmm.
So those funds should be there without anybody being able to mess with those technically, as well as the veterans benefits. Their checks are supposed to continue as well.
Yeah, and I have to say, Leona, one I had read one story of a retired couple who said, "We're scared our checks will just
Mhm.
stop." This is a huge worry for many, but the good news is the checks should continue. And I will admit, I thought about that too. I was like, "Wait, what?" I'm
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
"Well, is my Social Security check going to come?" Because maybe I have Social Security check and I have my pension and that kind of thing. But you get used to using or living off of whatever it is you have. And if
Right.
a significant portion of that disappears, then that's a big concern. So, SSI, disability, those kind of things should continue.
Right. And now here's the thing is that we're going to have to be very careful and very frugal with that because um, there is an effort for the insurance, that portion of insurance that normally comes out of those checks
Mhm.
for us, that insurance will double. And so if that's the case, you may still get your check, but you may not get as much. So that's something to think about as well.
Okay.
So
And this is,
we got to be wise.
yeah, we have to be wise. Why don't we just go to that part? I think that's further down on the list, but let's,
Hmm.
let's take a look to see what people are saying because it looks like the chat is hopping over there. So let me just take a look at that first. So we have first person on today was Hazel. She's been the first person on quite a bit, and she says, "Get
Yeah.
your notepads ready." So yes, please do. We got Moon Willow, and then we've got you telling everybody hello,
Mhm.
and then we've got Vicky's here, and
Mhm.
then I told everybody hello, and so
It's got Sierra.
Sarah, she's
Yeah.
currently making 4 shepherd's pies and looking forward to the company as she cooks. You know what? I love having company when I'm cooking, especially if I'm
Mhm.
doing a lot of chopping, as my husband says. It's like having my sister in the kitchen with me. So there's that. We got Tamika's here, and
Oh.
Cynthia is here. Hello,
Mhm.
Cynthia from Minnesota. And then Christina is here.
Christina.
And
Mhm.
here's Tam,
Hello.
and she is both of our babies. Our baby
Yes,
Tam is
she's our
here.
baby.
And then Michelle, hey Michelle, good to
Hey,
see you here
Michelle.
as well. And then Judy, Nita
Mhm.
B. Wait a minute. Nita B.
Uh-huh.
Everybody jumping in tonight. Our
All
regulars are
right.
here tonight. And we haven't seen Ann for a while, but she's here with us tonight. And Zena is here,
Mm-hmm.
as well as Antoinette
Mm-hmm.
and Shirlane. Good evening.
Oh.
We're glad to have all you guys here. Now, okay, Dave is here. He's a little excited. Hi, Dave. We're glad you're here with us. So, he's saying hello to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's saying hello to you, and then he's saying
Aw.
hello to the chat. So, thank you, Dave. You can kind of calm down now. And we're glad you're here with us, though. And here's the thing: if there's things we talk about tonight that all of you can take from here, please take it with you. Because yes,
Please.
so all right. So we've got Sid who said
Sid?
Detroit house.
Okay.
Kathleen, it's good to have you here. It's been a minute.
Aw.
And then, so now, Danique said that she lives in Maryland and there are so many federal employees there. And
Mm-hmm.
I am sure there are, but Maryland was one of the ones I think that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You did.
the governor is trying to protect the residents and especially the federal workers because the
Mm-hmm.
people that live in what they call the DMV, the
Mm-hmm.
DC, Maryland, Virginia area, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them work in DC or a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
are federal workers. So,
Right.
yeah, so that's a big issue there. And if they're federal workers and they're furloughed, that means that they may not be getting a paycheck. What are you laughing at, Leona?
I'm laughing at Dave. Dave saying he was excited. He said, okay, okay, he'll be calm.
Okay. So we've got Ella here, and then we've got Kira is here from New York,
Yeah.
Molly, and Victoria. And she says her husband is a federal employee.
Mm-hmm.
They've been through this a time or two,
Mm-hmm.
trusting in God and listening to positive videos like ours will with all our helpful tips. So I'm going to say boom to you, Victoria. So now you said you guys have been through this a time or two. Victoria, please drop us something in the comment section or in the chat. What helped you guys get through? In addition to trusting in God,
That's
was there
right.
anything in particular that you guys did to get
Mm-hmm.
through that difficult time? So let us know about that.
That's true.
Okay, so let's talk about Social Security just for a second, because that was the number one question that everyone was concerned about. And so many people were concerned about their checks not coming. Now, if you remember the day when the checks came in the mail,
Oh, yeah.
and you'd have to worry about whether or not the mail showed up, that kind of thing. Well, you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to worry about that anymore because the checks are direct deposited.
Right.
So, and banks should not be affected by
Mm-mm.
this government shutdown. So
And
your
neither should mail.
should be deposited as usual. Now, here's the one concern, though, in regards to some benefits is that if there's a cutback on workers,
Mm.
then there may be fewer people to do some of the tasks that need to get done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's just something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, it's you may find that some of your services, particularly like veterans, some of those services may be just a tad bit slower
Yes.
because of the fact that some of the people, some of the workers may not be there.
Hmm.
Even though it's open, they may not be there.
Exactly. Because there just may not be enough people to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
then I saw a TikTok video that
Mm-hmm.
I would try to remember to link it in the description box. I think I sent it to you, Leona, and it was about a lady talking about airport travel.
Oh
She said,
yes,
when
that's
you're
going to be
traveling,
tricky.
yeah, she said if you're traveling through the airport, she said the last time there was a shutdown, well, there are going to be people on furlough or people expected to come in and work without pay. And
Mm-hmm.
last time a lot of the TSA agents called in sick because they
Yes,
didn't
they
want
did.
to work and not get paid. So
Mm-hmm.
if there are fewer people, at the airport doing those jobs, then
Mhm.
that means expect long lines,
Oh,
expect
yeah.
delays, and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then the other thing that I heard talked about was that if you're like trying to get a passport or something like that,
Mhm.
some of those services may be delayed.
Delayed.
Okay.
Seriously delayed. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And we've got friends that are going to be flying in. And I thought about that because they're going to be affected by the airport delays. And
Mhm,
sometimes the airports are backed up as it is.
mhm.
So anyone who's flying, you definitely want to go early.
Expect long lines,
Mm-hmm.
plan to be patient, and just
Mm-hmm.
try to plan ahead. I know I'm going to be traveling next week, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm traveling the day before the thing that I actually have to do. So I'll just take some snacks with me in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
Have some extra cash. So if I need to buy something while I'm in the airport to eat, I
Mm-hmm.
can, but that I can relax and just kind of take my time if I need to.
Okay.
So one of the things, though, now it's interesting that SNAP benefits was the least of the four things that I had on the list. SNAP benefits was last on the list, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But I guess in actuality, there's not as many people on SNAP as people think
Mm-hmm.
there are. So I can see where that would be the last on the list. But let's just talk a little bit about what people that are on SNAP benefits, what they can do, what they
Mm-hmm.
should try to do, or even if you're not on SNAP benefits, but you're
It doesn't have to be SNAP. They can just be in a situation where they need additional food.
fresh budget, yeah.
I was
And
talking
here's
to
Stephanie.
someone.
I forgot to take this off, but she was saying she's been so busy she didn't even know a shutdown was on the table. Well, honey,
Bless her heart.
today is the first this morning at 12:01
Yes,
a.m. kicked in.
yes, yes,
She said
ma'am.
they're a family of seven. So let's talk
Mhm.
about what they can consider doing in that regards. You want to jump in on that?
Well, one of the things is that at this point, with your family of seven, and I'm saying to you, what I'm going to also do to my, with myself, and I'm encouraging my family to do, is to really go down your list of those most used items. And those are the things that when you go into the grocery, now's the time that if you can, to try to stock up and purchase a few extras of each of those items. And not saying that they won't be on the shelf. We're not saying that. We're saying that there's a possibility there may be even more of an increase in price. But you also want to make sure that you have what you need in your house. And at this point, we're looking at situations where, I mean, this wasn't even in the plan. I mean,
Mhm.
let's face it. And we've been planning and talking and trying to get all of us ready. And I say all of us
But the
ready.
good part, though, Leona,
Hmm.
we've been talking about this for the past month, and you have really been drilling down on this budget. So go ahead. I'm sorry, but I
I
just have to
know.
say
I know.
you've been telling people about this coming. And sometimes I feel like Cassandra from Greek mythology, where she tells people what's going to happen, and then they
Uh-huh.
don't believe her and they ignore, and then stuff happens. So not that we're saying we told you so. We're
No.
saying that we hope you heard us and that you're
Yeah.
able to do something. So okay,
That
go
you're that you're able to do that. But also just think about the fact that I know sometimes you have to put things off, but at this point, I'm saying yes, previously we were concerned about preparing for the winter, stocking up for the winter. But at this point, we're talking about stocking up for today. We're
yes.
talking about stocking up for next month because we want to make sure that you have those staples that you need.
Mhm.
What I did tonight, was to make sure that in my description box that I've given you a plan of those things that you want to consider to put in your house. And I took my list, went through my pantry to make sure that I had the things that I think should be there, that they are there. And Whatever's not there, I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that I buy a few of everything to make sure that they're in place. And so I'm saying that at this point, if there's anyone who's hesitated,
Mm-hmm.
now's not the time. Now's
No,
not the
it is
time.
not the time. And here's the
Mhm,
thing, because I went to the store today, and
mhm,
I went yesterday actually, and I filmed a grocery haul, but there were a few things I didn't get. And
mhm,
then when the shutdown actually happened, I thought, well, let me go back today and just pick up those things that I know that I needed. And I looked at what are the things that I use every day, like from our essential um,
mhm.
20 item capsule
Capsule.
grocery haul.
Mhm,
And I always use black beans. I always use
mhm,
chickpeas. We
mhm,
use cat food. So when
mhm,
I went to the store today on a mission with a list,
mhm,
I got enough cat food for the month of October because I just
mhm.
don't know what. And I will tell you at first too, I was like, well, what if our Social Security checks don't come? I hadn't done all of the work yet, all of the research, but now I
Mhm,
know the checks will come. But initially, I thought, well, let me just go ahead and get enough cat food
mhm,
for the month.
mhm,
More black beans, corn, green beans, those things that I use all the time. I even bought a 20-pound bag of rice. Now, I'm going to have to break that up and put it in the little vacuum sealed bag.
mhm,
Here's the thing.
mhm,
I was at Walmart a couple of weeks ago, and they had a 20-pound bag of basmati rice, in those little
mhm,
burlap bags,
mhm.
$18. When I was there today, it was $25.
Well, let me tell you, I went yesterday to pick up extra paper towel because I knew we were having company.
Mhm.
$34
Mhm.
for paper towel.
Well, I
I
saw
didn't
that.
know. I didn't know who was going to hit the floor first, me or the big guy. He
Well,
said, "Oh my
I saw that.
gosh!"
And I looked at them. I said, okay. And I got the paper towels that I normally get, but I looked to see,
Mhm,
I got the little smaller pack and the smaller pack of tissue. Because one of the things that we don't want to do is be in a situation like we were during the pandemic, during the
that's
big
right.
toilet paper and paper towel crisis. We
Right.
don't want to go back there. We
No.
want to make sure that we are doing the things that we need. So when we say
Mhm.
stock up, only buy the things you use on a
You need.
daily basis. So
Right.
I didn't get anything today to just put on my extended pantry. I got
Mm-mm.
cat food, I got rice, I got beans, I got some cans of glory greens. I like to have those like on Sundays
Mhm.
sometimes.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
got those canned goods that I use weekly. I picked up noodles, and Walmart had those real skinny little in-made noodles that I like to make when I make
Mhm.
soup. I like those real skinny little noodles.
Uh-huh.
I picked up a couple bags of those, and then I picked up the regular size noodles because I use noodles all the time. I
I
need to make
know.
a chicken noodle soup, beef and noodles, those kinds of
Mhm.
things. So now let's see. You looking at the comments? Something must be going on over there.
Yes, I mean there it's going. It's really going. And Dave mentioned coffee, and I'm gonna jump in on that coffee because you're right, Dave. Coffee for sure is an issue, and I mean, I do not use Starbucks coffee or any of the expensive coffees. I am an 8 o'clock coffee girl, and the thing about it is. I went to the grocery store 2 weeks ago and I just thought, well, let me pick up some extra coffee. And there was none. I went to three different grocery stores. There was no 8 o'clock. And it
Wow.
took until this week when I walked in and finally there was 8 o'clock coffee. And in fact, most of the name brand coffees, the only thing like in Walmart, all they had were their brands. Um, and, some of the other stores had some off brands that I didn't know anything about. So coffee is going to be one of those things. If you're a coffee person, you might want to pick up a little extra coffee because I'm not sure how that's going to go. I saw that comment with Melissa. I mean, that
She had
is
her
wow.
vacation time taken away and had to work for free 2 months in
Oh,
the hospital during COVID lockdown. Wow.
oh wow.
Wow. Well,
Mhm.
I am sorry, Melissa, that that happened. Hopefully that won't happen this time. But back to coffee, I bought coffee yesterday and I bought
Mhm.
one of those containers of, I think it was Maxwell House or Folgers decaf
Mhm.
coffee, ground coffee, and I'm
Mhm.
going to put it in those little K cups myself and put
Mhm.
it in my little thingy. And that was $16 for that. It was like a little one about this big. It was the
Mhm.
middle size
Yeah.
because my Starbucks K cups were $10 for the box. And they had them, I think they had them for sale for like $8.99 if you bought
Mhm.
like three. And I
Mhm.
thought, okay, Denise, you've been talking about going with the regular coffee and putting them in your own K cups. Well, this is
Mhm.
the week that I did that. So
Mhm.
again, just trying to plan ahead and thinking, what would I actually need just in case? So we're trying to get you to prepare for just in case. And
Mhm.
then if just in case doesn't happen, you haven't purchased anything you don't already always use. So I picked up 2 boxes of cream of wheat.
Mhm.
What's a box?
I know. I
$5
know.
a box for cream of wheat. But I
Mhm.
went ahead and got it because that's one of the things that I always use. Number one, when the grandkids are here, is grandma, can you make porridge? And you know I'm making porridge.
Mhm.
They're here. And
Absolutely.
then two,
Absolutely.
in the wintertime, when it's chilly in the morning, cream of wheat is a good.
Mhm.
Or if
Mhm.
someone is sick, that's good too. So Cindy says in the early 90s, her husband was active duty enlisted, so all VA services are unaffected.
Okay.
That's good. That's good to know,
That's good.
Cindy, because I had no idea about that. That was the one thing
Mhm.
I didn't think to look into.
Now, the VA services, when she's talking about that, is that those for active duty or is that across the board?
That's a good question. So I'm thinking she's
Mm.
talking about the VA hospital.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what?
But, I don't know that active duty use the regular VA hospitals
I'm gonna just
or
send
whether it's for veterans. I'm not sure. Cindy, if you're still in the chat, will you let us know? Um, that I don't know.
I'm sending a note to my friend. One of my sorors works at the VA.
Mhm.
Well, about 5 of them work at the VA. I'm going to
Mhm.
ask them, are VA services affected?
Oh, I see. Angela's given some information. She said Walgreens has $1.99 toilet paper and a 4 pack. And she said it comes out to about 50 cents per roll. Well, that's good, to pick up some extras. That's for sure. Thanks, Angel.
So Terry says also air traffic controllers. And yes, that's the other
Mhm.
that we have to be concerned about. So during the
Mhm.
shutdown, they can't hire any more air traffic controllers. They can't
Right.
train anymore. And there's already a shortage because it was gutted when Doge went in and fired everybody.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a
Oh, yeah.
shortage of air traffic controllers. So when we say there may be delays, there may be delays, not just in services at the airport, but planes getting in and out. There could be flight cancellations and all of that. So
Mhm.
because this is a possibility, we just want you to be prepared and be ready to be patient. If you're traveling with your family, with your children, take
Mhm.
extra treats, extra little
Mhm.
toys, things like that. Because
Mhm.
when I was in the airport apocalypse last year,
Mhm.
we were coming back from our
We
cruise.
were too.
And when everything went blank, and I didn't realize you were caught up in that mess too.
Yes.
Everything went blank. You couldn't get a flight in and out. The blue boards were just blue, and there was no flight leaving. And I remember this was like Saturday, and I remember
Mhm.
going to the desk, and me and my husband, and we were like, okay, we need to get to Indiana. He said, you can go to Atlanta or you can stay here. He said, but you ain't getting home before Tuesday. So I can put you in Atlanta and you can spend the night there, or you can spend the night here, but you're not getting home before Tuesday. So we chose to go
Wow.
to Atlanta, and then our son picked us up from the airport. We spent
Mhm.
the night at his house, and then we were able to get home.
Oh, wow.
I never want to go through anything like that again,
No.
but we weren't prepared because we just
Mhm.
didn't anticipate that. So
Mhm.
right now, since we know things are at sixes and sevens,
Mhm.
take extra things so that you can be. If you're traveling with babies, take extra
Right.
diapers, extra change of clothes, extra
Mhm.
bottle information, whatever.
Mhm.
Be prepared to buy extra things while you're in the airport. Keeping in
Yes.
mind, though, that there's a lot of people in the airport.
Yes.
Um, I suppose there's enough places there that you can always get something to eat. But I'm just saying, have
You
your
know, no, we can't even say that because, well, there were some restaurants, but you know how the places where you can go to get a sandwich or a
mhm,
quick drink, those places were wiped out. They
yeah,
were wiped clean. I have never seen the airport so messy. People were sitting all around the floors. It was the worst. It was dirty. It was horrible.
yeah,
But and the poor workers were exhausted
mhm,
because many of them hadn't been home trying to
mhm,
stay in their spot. And so I would say if there's anything, that's something that we really need to stress is, if you're going, I understand that we're all crappy because of the situation, but we can't take it out on the workers because
yes,
you think we've been there a long time, they've been there even longer.
yes,
And so we need to be as kind to them as we possibly can.
right.
And Cindy's answering us down at the bottom.
Uh, oh,
They said that
yeah,
hospitals and VA services are funded separately.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just sent my soror that note, but I didn't hear it. Oh, she said, oh, she did send it back.
Okay.
I said, "Are VA services affected?" She just wrote one word, no.
No. Okay. Well, that's good to
So,
know.
yeah, so technically, military won't get a paycheck during this time. The
Hmm.
credit unions won't bounce checks, and VA loans won't impose late fees. All back pays will be paid as soon as the budget is passed. So
Oh, okay.
good to
Okay.
know
Well,
that
that's good to
will
know.
happen. Yeah, and then here's the other thing: hospital services and VA are funded
Hmm.
separately.
Hmm.
That's good to know.
Okay. Antoinette Williams, just above Cindy's.
So Christina said her son was injured in the Iraq war, and she wondered if he would get his disability check. And yes, he should get his disability
Hmm.
check.
Hmm.
Now,
He
keeping in
will get
mind
that.
that we are saying all these checks should be delivered as
Hmm.
usual. They should be.
And if he's getting it direct, he will probably direct deposit. He probably will get it on time. As long as it's not a mailed check, then they
Mhm.
should be on time.
And then Antoinette said business as usual until further notice was put out by the commander. So
Okay.
at least our
Okay.
people in uniform
Hmm.
should be
Hmm.
fine. So that's
That's
good. You were
good.
going to bring something else up.
No, you got it. That was it. I was talking about Antoinette. Um,
And then Kathleen says Kroger's regular and sale price for coffee has risen this week with their bread
mhm.
and Folgers. Yeah, that's been up
That's
this week.
true. That's true.
And then Victoria purchased 8 o'clock. It's so good. Price is good too, so she needs to get more. And they went back to whole beans and then used
Hmm.
it for later. Okay, the K
Oh,
cups.
that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now I ground my beans, and but 8 o'clock is delicious. And I would think Denise, you would love 8 o'clock because I know you like your hot chocolate.
I think I like Starbucks because it stands up to the cream that I put in it. I do
Hmm.
have some 8 o'clock though. I got some on sale at a store that I went to because I thought, well, let me
Uh-huh.
just give this a try. Let's just give this a
Did you
try.
get the dark espresso?
No, I get
Dark
the
Italian.
decaf.
Okay.
So it's a
Okay.
little bit lighter weight.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
I'm a lightweight.
Did you see um, Sierra is saying that she has a list of meals. She's a little bit up from where we are at this point.
Oh, let me find her. Sierra. Okay.
Hmm. Go up about 5.
Cynthia. Calm down, Dave.
You're too far.
There
Okay,
you
there it is. She says she has a list of meals that they typically have monthly. It has really helped her be wise with shopping. Absolutely. There is room for spontaneity, and every Sunday she does a nicer meal that is from a cookbook. Uh, hey,
Yeah, I
you
like
are
that.
on the ball. And I know Sierra was in the crew when I was doing the meals for a month
Mm-hmm.
that started during COVID. And there really is. It is good to have your list of meals for the month. Then you can purchase as you need to. However, it's more convenient for you. But at least it's nice knowing where you're going, and it's like going on a trip. You need to know where you're going.
Now, Dave says he's never been to Starbucks and that he never will. And there's a lot of people that don't like
Mhm,
Starbucks coffee. One of
mhm,
my YouTube mentors, Sean Cano, he does not like Starbucks coffee. He says it tastes burnt. He's a real coffee aficionado, and he likes to buy
mhm.
these fancy coffees that French press or whatever you do
Uh-huh.
at
Uh-huh.
home. So he's right there with you, Dave. But um, wait a minute.
Christina says she bought four large cans of
That's
her
what I was
favorite
talking
coffee
about.
today.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so we're encouraging you guys to buy the things
Mm-hmm.
today, this week, those things that you normally buy. We're not
Mm-hmm.
saying stock up on stuff just to put in your prepper pantry or your extended pantry. Right now, we're saying get those things that you typically use. And then if you're thinking that money is going to be an issue,
Mm-hmm.
then buy more frozen or canned items,
Mm-hmm.
because what you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to have is the what you don't want to have is the uh, fresh items to go bad. You don't want that
Exactly.
to happen. You don't want the fresh items to go bad.
Exactly.
So it's going to be better, if you can, to just go with the canned items. So
Mm-hmm.
like today
Mm-hmm.
when I was out shopping, I got mostly canned goods. Now I do
Mm-hmm.
like to get fresh carrots because I don't like canned carrots.
Right. I
I
don't
will
either.
use canned carrots if I don't have anything else.
Right.
I'll get frozen or fresh. So
Mm-hmm.
if this is something that you guys are concerned about, if you're concerned about your finances not stretching, then
Mm-hmm.
get the can because you don't want the fresh to go bad, or get the fresh,
Mm-hmm.
use it right away.
Right. Or get your fresh, chop them up, put them in a Ziploc bag, and freeze them so that you have them. So at least they won't be wasted if you don't think you'll use them fast enough.
On the show.
Oh, so,
Okay.
so we got our, um, one thing too, Denise, just for those who know, many of the food pantries are losing a portion of their funding. Now, that's not because of the shutdown. It's just because of life be lifing. But
Hmm.
I know the food pantry that we work with has lost a third of its money.
Hmm.
And that's a significant amount when the people are coming, the people who need it are coming. And
Hmm.
I know you had also said that when you went to get some food for someone that you knew, that the box was light.
Oh, the box was so light. I was really surprised because usually what they will get is like, a bag of onions, maybe some potatoes, whatever fresh vegetable is in season,
Hmm.
and some other things. And there was just so few things in there. It was really kind of heartbreaking because I
Hmm.
know how many people depend on that service. And so, like, if
Hmm.
you live on the end of town that I live on and you drive over by that area, because it's close to a mall, well, like
Hmm.
a small shopping center, you will see people start to line up around 7:30, and they'll be lined up around the building.
Oh yeah.
We have little stanchions in the street to kind of help
Hmm.
direct traffic because people are needing that support. So, yeah. So that's something to really think about. Let's talk
And
about paperwork that people might need to make
sure.
sure they have caught up as well too. Make sure you've got your driver's license.
Hmm.
If you have a passport, you want to have that and have a copy of that set aside somewhere so that you can use that. And it may be that if you're trying to get appointments for some of those things, that may be delayed.
Right.
Now, the one question that I had was whether or not the post office would be open.
Mm-hmm.
But they will, because they're funded differently. So the post
Mm-hmm.
office, they'll be open. So if you've got some things ordered, that kind of thing, those things should still come.
Yeah. And, it also, we had talked about um, holiday planning.
Hmm.
And so now is a good time to start thinking about what you might need coming up for the holidays. And initially we were saying it, thinking that okay, you got the month of October to plan for that and get all that ready. But I don't know about you, but I've got cranberry sauce on my grocery list. Your those things that you can get now for your holiday, you may want to, go ahead and pick up some of that now, because in spite of in spite of whatever is going on, whether it's a shutdown, whether it's weather, whatever it is, when the holiday comes, you want to be able to bring your family together and to do something nice.
Hmm.
So keep that in mind, that some of those things, I know I have things that are on the shelf that, when the family's here, I want to be able to prepare those things like
Hmm.
elbow macaroni. This is a good time to make sure you've got
You
plenty.
got that.
So keep that handy.
Okay. Um,
Oh, Terry's saying their funds have been cut as
yeah.
well. Yes, and we even noticed that Kroger did not give as much. Kroger, um, they gave like they
Hmm.
normally do, but it wasn't as much. So I don't know if at this point they're trying to divide what they have between more people, more places. I'm
Hmm.
not sure.
Hmm. So Sierra says she's been kicking herself for not getting her license switched over to her new state earlier. It just may take you a little bit longer time.
Hmm.
And then Dave says that the post office is not a part of the government. I just assumed
Oh.
that the post office, since it's the
Hmm.
United States Post Office, it was a part of that, but it's not a part of the federal government
Right.
like that, not like we normally think of. So that's why it's funded
So
different.
that's good.
So they should be fine. So there's
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
So, and Antoinette is agreeing with Dave also that the
Hmm.
post office will be open. It's not effective. Those are the things that we did check out that it's not going to be affected.
Yeah.
Um, so Dolores says now some food banks in Seattle don't ask for proof of income. And at the Community Harvest Food Bank that is closest, well, that's in our area, they
Hmm.
ask for proof of income um, during the week. If you
Hmm.
want to come in and get like the senior services, the kids
Hmm.
backpack, and those kinds of things. But
Hmm.
on Saturday,
Hmm.
with a drive-through,
Right.
all you have to do is drive up, and you drive
Oh.
up, you raise your trunk of your car, you pull up. They put if there's one person in the car, they put one box in the car. If there's
Hmm.
two in the car, they give you two
Right.
boxes. The only thing they ask is that you bring the boxes back the next week so they can refill them because they
Oh,
only
that's
have so
nice.
many boxes. Yeah, and
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
tell you, when I went for my friend a couple of weeks ago, it's like how you go on Disney, and there's all these lines where
Hmm.
like there was like 10 rows of cars
Hmm.
parked, and they would have each row go at a time, and then people would
Hmm.
come and you get in a row and they would send them off at a time. So they had a pretty well designed service for how
Yeah,
people
we
through.
got one too.
Yeah.
We worked it, and it's emotional to me to think that there are that many people when you see all of those cars that are lined up of people who need food. Now
Hmm.
the good thing is that I worked the one that was the week before Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
And I tell you what, I was amazed at how much food that they really did receive from that. They really had a Thanksgiving meal
Hmm.
plus. And so, I'm thankful that our groceries are doing this, that they're able to do this. And I hope that they will be able to continue.
Yes. And one of the things that I want to point out, as you said, is that you may not be a federal worker, but you may have friends, family,
Mm-hmm.
neighbors who are. And so, if there's something that you can do to be of assistance, then think about what you can do. This is definitely the time to be neighborly. If you've got some
Mm-hmm.
additional resources that you can share, now is the time to do that. And I think one of the other things to keep in mind as we look through this difficult time is having some extra money on hand.
Mm-hmm. Having cash on
Yes,
hand.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Having a
Well,
little cash.
extra money, but you
Yes.
want some cash on hand
Mhm.
just in case.
Yes. Let's see.
Oh, you see Terry?
Mm-mm. I was
Um,
trying to look up the notes. Let me see.
oh, okay.
Oh, here she is. This one?
Uh-huh. She's saying her daughter has a family of 6 with 4 littles. They have started picking up a few toys for each child and noticed the higher prices already due to tariffs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we're going to see a big difference at Christmas time in
I
regard to the number of items people get,
do.
and that
Hmm.
can be okay.
Yeah, yeah,
It
that's
can work.
okay.
Okay. So let's see. Charlene's granddaughter went to the food bank yesterday. She got one small bag with mostly
Top
ramen.
ramen.
Hmm.
Ramen, the little squares or
Little
the little
ramen,
cups.
yeah, one
Hmm.
small bag. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Now, Dolores, go down to Dolores. She's the next one. Now, I don't have a Fred Meyer, but I think it's one of their larger grocery stores. Dolores, is that right?
Oh.
In Seattle. And she says she's sure that that's going to hurt the food bank in their area.
Mhm.
They're closing.
Kathleen is sharing prices on, I believe, is this coffee?
Uh
Or
huh.
okay,
Hmm.
okay.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, in Seattle, Fred Meyer and
Okay.
QFC are Kroger affiliates.
Oh, you know what? So they are some of the stores that Kroger was saying they were going to close. Remember, they were saying some of the Krogers would definitely
Mhm.
close. Huh.
And then Tutu says that she's hopeful for the future of those affected government workers. And you know what? I think we all
Hmm.
have to be hopeful for all of them as well and hope that things
Absolutely.
go well for them.
I do too. I do too. There's been enough.
Hmm.
There's been enough.
Yeah, there certainly has been enough. Is there anything that we're forgetting, Leon?
Um, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Does anyone have a question that they might
Yes, what
like for us
questions
to
do you guys
answer?
have?
Oh, Shelly, single mom to 5. She has something.
Oh, she said she appreciates all of our tips.
Aww.
Thank you. Shelly, thank you. We are trying. Me and Miss Leona, we are doing our best.
What?
So, well, here's the thing. So,
Hmm.
Michigan here, in many areas, most of the people in the food lines are in new cars. They certainly don't look needy. Proof of income should be required. Here's the thing. You might be in a pretty good situation, but
Hmm.
think about all the people that have lost their jobs recently.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people who are not normally in the food line
Hmm.
finding themselves in the food line. So I don't think we can be judgmental and just assume that
Hmm.
people are there. And like I said, I was in the food line for my friend. She doesn't have
Hmm.
a car and she
Right.
couldn't get the bus because of her health. So I said, I will go for you. Now,
Hmm.
I'll share a story with you guys about that. So not this time because I've grown and learned, but there's a church called St. Mary's Church here in town. And every year at Thanksgiving, at least they used to, they would give out a free turkey.
Hmm.
And one of my sisters is extremely poor. And so she asked me if I would take her to pick up turkey. And I'm like, I do not want to be standing there in that line. And people think I'm in this line because I need to get a turkey. But this is what I said to myself. I didn't say this to her, but I was like, okay, I will take you. And while we were there, I got to looking around at all these people in that line, and I thought, who do you think you are? Who do you think people even care about you
Hmm.
standing here in this line? They are here
Hmm.
because they are in need. So get
That's
over
right.
yourself. And I
Yeah.
did. But I was like, I mean, and I'm not proud of that moment, but I
Hmm.
was like, why don't people to think that, then I thought, okay, what if I did need to get that turkey?
You
I'm
know,
glad the opportunity was there.
that's right. That's right. And the thing of it is that today we might be able to buy a turkey.
Hmm.
There is no guarantee that tomorrow will be the same way.
Well,
So
this is
we
true.
have to be very careful because too many people, even just this year,
Hmm.
have lost their income.
Hmm.
And many of them have not been able to find jobs.
I
They
know.
had houses, and I know here there are people who are having to sell their houses quickly because they just couldn't afford to keep it going. And
Hmm.
they've had to step back and reduce what they're doing. So those are the things, we know it happens, and yes, that's the car they have. But
Hmm.
the reality of it is that they may not have a dime because you
Yeah.
never know
Hmm.
what has happened. So
Right.
we have to
Right.
be careful. We have to
Yeah,
be
you really do. So let's try not to be judgmental.
judgmental. Mm-mm.
So, Joy from England, things sound very difficult for you. God bless and be with y'all. Yeah, you know what? Now, I can say that I have got to a point in my life where I realized, like you said, you may not be in need today, but you never
Mhm.
know what's going to happen tomorrow. And Liam, I don't know if I told you guys this story before or not, but I remember once I applied for food stamps,
Mhm.
and I was a senior in college. We had these two babies, and
Mhm.
y'all excuse my language, but we didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. We
Mhm.
were seniors in school trying to get done. And I said, babe, I'm going to go and apply for food stamps. So he drove me down. We were living in Indianapolis at the time, going to school there. So he
Mhm.
drove me down. I went in and I applied. Now, I cannot tell you the shame I felt applying
Mhm.
for food stamps.
Mhm.
But I thought, we got these babies. I need to be able
Mhm.
to feed these kids. So I thought, we're going to do it. And the lady told us we made too much money. I said, we don't have any money. I said, we don't have 10 cents in our checking account. She says, well, you have financial aid. I said, well, our financial aid was for tuition. It was for room and board.
Books.
So we and books, and we used the financial aid for what they gave it to us for. That
Mhm.
spent where it was supposed to go. She says, well, because you had that, you don't qualify.
What?
So we didn't qualify. So I drove back home. I probably cried all the way home.
Yeah.
That point, I remember I wrote home to my mother and said, Mom, y'all just have to send us some money. Because we were trying not to contact our parents and ask for
Right.
anything. We wrote home and said, Mom, you're going to have to send us some money. And so they did. Her, my aunt, she talked to some of my other aunts, and they sent us $60.
Mhm.
Now, $60 doesn't sound like much. But in 1972,
Yep.
$60 was a
Was a
lot,
lot of money.
really, from people who still had children at home. They couldn't
Mhm.
afford to take care of us here. We two grown people, we married with children.
Mhm.
So at that point, my husband dropped out of school
Mhm.
so that I could finish. And then,
Mhm.
I finished that year. Then he went back and then he finished.
Mhm.
But it's just that you just never know what people are going through. So when I hear that people are on SNAP benefits, I don't make any judgments at all.
No.
And,
Well, I
it,
don't know if I told you, but we this happened when I was 13. We lived in a beautiful home. Everybody was working. Things got flaky, conditions messed up,
mhm.
and we looked up and we had lost our home. And so it can happen.
Yes,
It
it
can
can.
happen overnight. And
It,
sometimes it's a situation that you can control, and sometimes it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can tell you, we slept on a mattress for almost a year, and no one outside the house knew that we were in there. No furniture, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, when I say I got a passion for people who don't have, I
Yes.
do. I don't play with that. I
And
ate
I do.
many a grilled cheese and
Mm-hmm.
tomato soup. That's what we ate because all we had was a hot plate, and that's what Mom fixed.
Mm-hmm.
So we ate what we needed to eat. But I was never hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I made it to school every day and did what I was supposed to do. But was it a tight situation? Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
is it one you'll never forget? Nope.
Well, and I think that is one of the things that helps me to realize that there are people that are in need. And then teaching community health nursing too, and being out in the
Mhm.
community, working with the people and seeing what they actually needed
Oh
and
yeah,
had and didn't have. It
that's
really
right.
gives me a different perspective on some things. So yeah, I think that's why we both share this passion for empowering these young homemakers and even the seasoned homemakers as well. So Kathleen says her apartment building is HUD, Seattle Housing Authority, and it was
Okay.
the first independent living building in the country. And
Hmm.
HUD Food Bank delivers to the residents because of their disabilities. That's good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
She says the year was 1964.
67, 64. Okay.
So Deb Lehman says that she lost her job in April and still hasn't found
Mm,
a job. Thank
mm,
goodness she had a well-stocked pantry. It has really helped her get
mm.
through. Leona, isn't that what you've been talking about?
That's what we're talking about. Mm.
And then Christina said she did grocery shopping for the month and was shocked by the steak prices at Costco. Oh
We
my,
were talking about those steaks last week. One
right.
steak was $40. And
Uh,
I know at Costco, it was almost $100 because you usually get 4 or 5 in there.
mhm.
Ah, oh, see, a pack of ribeyes,
Well,
$80.
we don't eat a lot of beef, and I will
Mm-mm,
kind of look over there to see what's what, to see on the
mm-hmm,
manager's special, because, just to kind of see what's there. There's
mm-hmm,
no way I would have done that. And now,
mm.
now I'm not going to be poo-pooing all this fish my husband's bringing home.
There you go. And you
Mhm.
might have to eat a little bit.
I'll just eat the potatoes and the rice and the beans. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So Christina says their prices have skyrocketed in California.
hmm And actually, California's prices, I think, were a little expensive anyway. I know when we went to California, it was their grocery because I go to the grocery store in every state I visit. And sorry, guys, I like the grocery.
I
And
do
so
too.
when I went in the grocery in California, I went, oh my gosh, this is what they're paying. And that was before any of this had gone on. So,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
I think Dee lives in California too.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Yeah, so them prices there have been crazy.
Mhm.
So Terry said she remembers when she was going through a divorce, she had 2 degrees. She was a new RN, and for a short period of time, she could have been homeless.
Mm.
So when you think about those good-looking cars in that food line at the
Mhm.
food bank, you
Mhm.
know,
It can happen to any of us. Any of us.
so Charlene agrees
Mhm.
that prices have gotten ridiculous there. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it's expensive.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. Well, at this point, my thing of it is that the best thing we can all do is to pray each night.
Hmm.
And we're praying for those that have and those that have not. That whatever the situation is, that we can certainly pray our way through it and pray for strength.
Hmm. Hmm. Um,
Okay.
Angel says on the farm we make cake pans filled with veggies enhanced. What?
veggie enhanced cakes. She had,
Oh,
oh, that's kind of like a, I know, an apple cake or a carrot cake or a
oh, 2 cups
zucchini.
of shredded apples.
Yeah.
He makes for a hearty breakfast with
Mm-hmm.
some milk. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, they make like a cake from the
Uh-huh.
vegetables, and
Mm-hmm.
they have a
With the
slice
back.
of that
Mm-hmm.
for breakfast. Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. And
Uh,
while you're shopping, pick up your flour, your sugar, um, both brown and white,
mhm.
so that you'll have those available. And
For
that will
Thanksgiving, when I was at Kroger the other day, when I was looking for something, and the lady says, "Well, do you like make Thanksgiving dinner?" And I said, "Yes." She
help.
said, "Do you use sage?" I said, "Yes." She says, "Well, you might want to pick some of those things up now,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not saying we're not going to have enough, but you just never know." And I was thinking, is she giving
Mm-hmm.
me a hint or what?
Mm-hmm.
But I said, "Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure I have 2 cans of sage at home, so I knew I
Yeah.
had that." But when you think about what can you do,
Mm.
think about prioritizing your essential spending. Now is not the time to run amok with your spending. And I
No.
see Vicki is saying praying for those impacted by what's
Mm-hmm.
happening in the world. Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
we all need to be, saying those prayers that the Lord
Absolutely.
will continue to provide and that we are worthy to be provided for.
Exactly.
So Kathleen says she doesn't take the delivery food bag because she couldn't figure what to do with the items that she doesn't use.
Or
That
you could share them with somebody who
mhm,
perhaps is a neighbor or somebody in the building. And
mhm,
it may be that there's probably someone else that's in the building who maybe some of the things that you like,
mhm,
they may not. And you
mhm,
might be able to work out a little swapping back and forth. That's a possibility too.
mhm. So again, what can you do? We got 4 things that we want to remind you guys, or 5 things to remind you guys of what to do. 1, prioritize essential spending.
Hmm.
2, keep paperwork and digital copies at hand.
Mm,
Never know.
that's true.
3, check your benefits accounts online so that you know what's what. 4, keep a small cash reserve. And then, as we've been emphasizing, stretch your pantry and freezer, which, ties back to the usual content that we talk about. So keep that in mind. And on that note, me and Miss Leona have a collaboration coming up this Saturday where we're going to be sharing a soup series. I have 5 soups and
And I have 5 soups.
mhm,
So you'll have 10 soups all together, which will help tremendously. And they are budget friendly
mhm,
and pantry friendly.
yes.
Hmm.
So when you're done with my channel, you go over to hers. If you go on hers first, when you're done with her channel, come over to mine so that you can see all 10 suits. And for those of you who
Hmm.
are new tonight, Miss Leona has her own channel. So you want to be sure and click,
Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme.
right, click. I don't know if I got in the description box tonight or not, but be sure to sign up for her channel
Hmm.
and sign up for mine so that you can be a member of both of our communities. So be sure to do that.
Absolutely.
And
Shall
and
we share with them the plan for the month? Or
go ahead, do that.
okay, well, the plan for the month is that we're going to try. Now, we have plans, but we're trying each week to give you 10 recipes in total. So someone had asked for budget friendly desserts. So one week we're going to do budget friendly desserts. We were asked for just budget friendly meals. We'll have a week that we'll have 10 budget friendly meals that are one pot meals.
Mhm.
And so then, if everything goes well and Miss Janice and I are still healthy and ready to go, we're planning to get into the kitchen. And we're going to be in the kitchen together, and we will get to share a recipe or two with you.
Mhm.
So the
So
month is going to
consider
be is going to be fun for us, and we hope it'll be fun for you.
you guys have been asking for this, and we've been listening. So be sure and come back and check us out, and also share. And if you have anyone that you think could benefit from tonight's video, be sure to have them join us as well, because we really want people to feel more comfortable about this government shutdown. You're not alone. And as crazy as everything is, you as neighbors have to try to join together just to kind of help everybody get by.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's another thing. We might have to get our college students involved. If you have college students, share with them, especially some of these soups and those kind of things. They might be able to prepare some of those.
Mm-hmm. So Renee says she stopped buying brown sugar and powdered sugar and just makes her own using molasses and just blends the sugar until it becomes powdered sugar. That is a way to save money.
Absolutely.
That's a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Terry says they're telling people on Medicare to be sure to check their plans due to increased costs for next year. Yeah, they are going to be going up. Not only that, but I think the people that are on other insurance plans, the Affordable Care Act, some of that is going to be going higher as well. So be sure to check that out.
And watch your prescriptions, because some of the prescription costs are also going up. And that was even before the shutdown.
Yes. And Kathleen says she didn't think education financial aid was counted with food stamp. Yeah, any source of income is considered. And they said you had income, you got these many dollars, and you are expecting. I'm like, well, yeah, but it was for this. And
that's right.
Yeah. So anyway, and I wasn't trying to get people to feel sorry for me, but what I wanted people to think about is that everyone's circumstances is a little bit different, and why you do things can be a little bit different. And I never thought that I would be one who would go and apply for food stamps. And when I was in school, like I was in school a long time ago. As you guys can see, I'm definitely a woman of a certain age. People weren't always kind to people that used government assistance. And as children can be cruel. So when you're in grade school or high school, you kind of see what happens to the kids that have to get in the free lunch line and those kinds of things. Some of the stigma that they end up dealing with until some of that changed. Oh yeah. So I wasn't trying to get people to feel sorry for me, but I wanted people to know that everything is not always as it seems. So,
that's true. Do me a favor, put Renee's comment back up. Vicky wanted to see what she was saying about the brown sugar and
yeah, you can make brown sugar by putting molasses in white sugar.
White sugar.
And put it in there, and depending on how much you put in there, it can be light brown sugar or dark brown sugar.
Or dark. And make your own.
And then to blend your sugar until it becomes powder. Now, I don't know what you're going to put it in, though, to get it that fine. A really fine grinder.
You have to have a really high-powered, fairly high-powered blender. If you have a Ninja, it should do it. It might take a little while, but it will do it. Anne's had to go to bed. She said it's 1:50 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Anne, thank you for being with us. Oh, my goodness.
So Sierra says, sounds like it could be a lot of work on us, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. So I've been working on my soups this week. So
yep, me too.
Yeah, so we'll have that ready for you. So it's coming up. And Deb says she likes both of our channels. So let's see. Got the brown sugar. People have to go.
You see, Kathleen, she said that about there it is, Washington State. I didn't know that. Huh.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Thanks for that information. Oh, Jennifer said a regular blender. Okay.
That's nice to know.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, do you guys have any other questions? Or Leona, do we have anything else we need to cover? Because we definitely gave the takeaways on what people should do. We answered the question. The most pressing question people had was whether or not their Social Security checks will come. And those should come.
Absolutely.
The second thing was about their family budgets, and we talked about stocking the pantry with
Mhm.
the things that they use right now. And
Absolutely.
um,
And just a reminder to those of you who may have come in late, the essential items for your pantry are in my description box, Ebony, Ivy, and Time with Leona.
mhm,
And so you can go there. It's right there in the box. You don't have to do any clicking or hunt anywhere. I put it right there so it would be easy for you to find,
mhm,
especially for those who are younger and haven't necessarily kept a list of those kind of things. That's a good
mhm.
place, good thing to have.
Okay. Well, we're not going to keep you guys on just to keep you guys on. I think we've covered all the things we wanted to cover. We talked about the important things and we gave you some tips on what you can do to plan ahead. So if you're traveling, think about planning extra time, taking
Mhm.
extra clothing or extra snacks in your suitcase, particularly if you're traveling with children. Whatever
Mhm.
you normally take along, take double, just in case you spend extra time in the airport.
That's true.
And hopefully life will get better. In the meantime, while life is lifing, we're going to keep it moving.
We will keep it moving and we will bring as much as we can to you.
All right. Good night, all.
Good night.